Hey guys, Jeffries here, and welcome back to Cities in Motion. And as you can see on the screen, Mayor Stephanie has said to us, excellent work, I'm impressed, let's see what else we can achieve together. That to me implies that we've actually completed the goal for this. I just noticed they're basically the exact same person with different coloured skin and hair. We've completed the first level, should we say, of the game. So if I click OK, what happens now is we get taken back to the main screen. So that was the first one, which we've done. So I'm going to go into Jealousy, which is the second one. Difficulty mode, keep that at normal. Click Start. It takes us into the game, and we should, hopefully, have the same city with the same network already set up. If that's not the case, then something has gone horrifically wrong. Nope, that looks the same. There we go. We've also got the same amount of money. I need to establish 35% coverage, and I've already done 45% of that. So this could be a very quick level. Which I don't want it to be. I want this to be elongated and last long. As you can see, I'll go back onto the economy panel. I'll show you we're still operating at a loss. I don't really want to take out any more loans, because you see I've got heavy loans out at the moment. Weekly payments of 2,100, 2,200, 2,700, 4,400, and these three loans are all the same amount taken out at virtually the same time. So it's a hefty amount of money we have to pay back, and you can see we're operating at 2,400 loss, as I've already said. The monorail, on the other hand, is, if I speed up time a little bit, you'll see this number is going down at the moment. There you go, it jumps up every now and then. Every time a train loads up, it goes up a bit. Penalty fares are dropping. Don't know whether it's worth investing in increasing that number. Not too sure at this moment in time. I just want the monorail to become as successful as, let's say, the trams for now, which are my least successful network so far. And actually the trolley is the most successful. That's a bit of a surprise to me. Even with the profit it's making the most. But I want this number to be around about the same. But I've said as the tram, but that's not right. Maybe the bus. I have it the same as the bus, because I need that number to go up by 2,000. And I kind of want these other two here to complement it. And I know I said I wouldn't do it, but actually, just so this episode is interesting and exciting and we have a chance of making some more money, I am going to take out another loan. It's going to be a big loan. 125,000, and I'm going to pay it back over... Whoa, that's a big number. Okay, we'll forget that. 50,000, weekly payments of 4,800. I'm going to have to do that one, I think. Oh, that one hurt. That one really hurt. So what I need to do now is get on quickly and build this monorail. So we left it off here, you might remember. So we'll build a straight line like that, and then that looks ugly. In fact, let's just build a straight line. I like straight lines, they're very straighty. So look, if I want to build this like that, look how much that becomes crooked by. So if I do, there we go, it looks better. If I do it like that, and then I can swing this round. If I just go up here and swing it round like this. There we go. Back there. There. There we go, that's better. And then I can have it run through the middle of this parkway here. And then build that one there, and then curve this one up this way. Let's say to there. And then I can curve it around again. Let's try and feed it through this gap here, like so. And then we'll loop it round like this. And it's a bit messy at this point, but I'm not overly bothered. We'll end that bit there. And see how that looks. You see there's a few buildings gone here. I took out this one. I was trying to avoid doing that actually, so that's a shame. Apart from that, yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty straight still. Still a little bit worried about how close to that building that is. I'm hoping that fixes. Otherwise I'm going to have to destroy another building, and I really want to avoid that if possible. Right, now we've got to do the return leg. So let's build 2 straight lines like this. And then we'll have it curve into this section here. See if I can fit it between these 2 buildings. So if I do that, yeah, that's not too bad. And then I want a straight line down here. And again, see if I can thread it between these 2 buildings. Oh, I can. That's quite good. Oh, slight problem now. Can I make it curve quite tight here? I wanted to avoid tight curves, but then I don't want to go through that building because it's quite a nice looking building. So I'm going to have a bit of a tight curve there. But that's, yeah, I say this a lot, but that's not too much of a problem. And then if I straighten this bit out like that, and then there. I wanted to go through this bit of park, didn't I? So let's call that some track. Oh, that looks pretty good. Apart from that one bit of curve there, this looks pretty good. So now I can do a straight line through the middle of the park, like so. It's not an exact straight line, but it'll do. We can have another bus interchange here. Or is that the trolley? I think that's the trolley, actually. We can have another trolley interchange. Which is pretty cool. And then just keep going in a straight line to here, and then curve it in for the connection there. And that is pretty good. I've seen worse, let's put it that way. And again, like I said, apart from that one little curve there, I might have a station here actually, just to help that out a little bit. So I'll put that in now so I don't forget. I'll have a station like that. Actually, that kind of looks better as a departure from the station because it won't be going at its full speed at this stage. And then I'll have another stop. I'm sort of building this one backwards at the moment. We'll have another stop there. So there's a bit of an overlap there, but that's okay. And then we'll have a third one here. So they're overlapping, but they're enough of a distance away that I can move this one over a little bit. What would happen if I put it there instead? That looks pretty good there, actually. I'll leave it there. I've got 6,000 left, but I should have enough monorail trains, so that will be okay. I still have a station here, didn't I? Is it on the right road? It is on the right road. That's nice. That looks good. And then I'll have another one. Where was the other trolley stop that I was going to connect it with? Have I missed it? I think I've actually missed it. Or I might have been seeing things. I'll have another stop in this gap here, though. That's not too close to this one, is it? No, that's a pretty good distance. Ah, was it here? I think it was here. Yeah, I think it was there. So we'll have one there, and then we'll have the final one. I said about it being on this section, didn't I? So let's do that. Let's put it in there. Okay. So apart from a couple of overlaps, that looks pretty good. And then obviously it connects up again here and then runs back to depot. So let's sort this out. Let's put the new line in. So I'm gonna name the line first, and we've already got the Tangerine line, so I'm gonna be really creative and I'm gonna call this the Nectarine line. Again, apologies if I've misspelt that, but I think I've got it right. Timetable, I'm going to copy from the Tangerine line. All of these. Oops. Copy. I've fiddled around a little bit with the timetable for this, so it runs more frequently during the day. I'll go back and show you. I've upped this hour to 10:30, and I've down this hour to 4:30. Sorry. So that's a 6-hour interval. So I've done 2 hours per train. So that's now 3 during that period, and it also means there's a gap of half of an hour, sorry, between end of the morning rush and the start of the weekday and the end of the weekday and the start of the evening rush. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now I'm actually going to assign the stations. Of course, we go to P1. We don't go to P2. And then we stop here, and then we stop on this one, not this way around like we had before. And then obviously the line here diverges. So we'll go to this stop, and then we'll go up to this stop, and then we'll go... Well, you get the idea now, we just follow the track. Have I missed a stop out? I have done that one already, haven't I? Yes, stop 16. Yep, that's on there. So then we get into the weird section of the line. I can't see this end of the line being used that much. Well, that stop I think is going to be the least used one on the entire network. That's okay, because it's there purely as a termination point. It's not really to be heavily used. Right, so we've connected back up to the main section. So we'll have one more stop here. And then, we'll have one more stop here at P3. And then return to depot. There we go. So now, it's a question of waiting for the first train to use the Nectarine line. In the meantime, I'm going to see what this objective is. They want me to grow the population 5%. To 60,000, I think it said there. So that's cool. I can do that. That's not a problem. How I do that, I've no idea. Building new roads, I think, is the way you do it on this game. You build a new road and then buildings spring up alongside it. I think that's the way to do it. I did see a message come up as well about bus depot was empty. Yeah. It's 10 buses on each line, so we might need to take out another tiny minuscule loan to pay off buying some new buses, just so we don't end up with broken down buses travelling on the network, because that doesn't look very good for our company image. Let's speed up time again a little bit. What I'm waiting for is the first monorail train to use the Nectarine line, and we're going to follow that one round. So, in the meantime, the next episode is probably going to be taken up with fundraising, mostly. I'm going to look at the economy panel again. I mean, we're operating at a massive loss at the moment, but like I said, once the monorail becomes popular, which it should do, I mean, we've got lots of people waiting at all these stops, and it's going to be bringing in more people to use the buses and the trams as well. Look at that, 46 people waiting for the Indigo line. There's 11 there for the Scarlet line, there's 10 there for the Ruby line, there's 43 there for the Violet line. So they're not lacking in popularity, we just need to try and get a bit more money out of them. I kind of know a couple of tricks to do that. It's mainly to do with interchanges and where different lines meet. Oh, here we go, we got a Nectarine line train. So we'll follow this one round and we get to see the route. Yeah, it's mainly about getting the right interchanges and getting people to where they want to be rather than where you think it looks good. So in this case it will be people from the north of the city might want to travel to the south of the city, and now we've got a bus route, a trolley route, a tram route and a monorail route that take you to different parts of the north and the south of the city. So hopefully we got the main hub, of course. I can't remember what MCH stands for now. Was it Jeffrey's Central Hub or something like that? That's the main interchange point, but then there's other interchange points like where the trolley meets the monorail, and I think there's a couple of ones where the bus meets the tram and the trolley meets the tram as well. I haven't thought about it. And those interchanges as well will get people from A to B a little bit quicker, so they can use the central hub if they want to, or they can change at these other stops around the city if they need to. And that should be where the money comes from, because then more people are going to be inclined to use the system, because it will take them to actually where they want to go rather than where I just decided to build the line to. So you can see this is the inaugural train on the Nectarine line, and it's not too bad. 13 passengers so far as it runs into its own section of the city. We've got 20 waiting at this stop, so that's pretty good. It means if nobody gets off here that we'll be running at over capacity, which I always like to see my trains do, actually. It might not be comfortable, but being someone who uses the tube in London quite a lot, very, very rarely would I say the trains actually run at capacity. They're nearly always over capacity. It's very crowded, it's very stuffy. So I imagine they'll be making a lot of money out of it. So that's kind of how I like to plan it here. I like to make money out of my system and not necessarily focus on passenger comfort. Whilst we're at this stop, I'm going to have a look down. And look how close that monorail is to that building. That has to be outside of safe operating standards. That is incredibly close. But what I can see in the distance is, look at that, 30 people waiting at that stop, 8 people waiting at that stop, the stop that I said wouldn't actually be used much, 34 over here. So actually this is quite impressive. This could have been a pretty decent investment after all, building out this far. Look at that, 29 people now, someone's given up and left. As monorail trains run more frequently around this part of the city, obviously this is the first one, so there was a little bit of a wait for it. But as more people get on the monorail, as more trains start running, we'll have to buy some more trains soon as well, because I can see them running out, as we have to run more frequent services. But the money that we get from this should pay for that, and then we should also be able to pay for more buses and trams and trolleys, maybe even bigger trams and trolleys so they can carry more passengers, which means we can run slightly less frequent services. And we should be able to make more money out of that, and that's where the money rolling starts to come from. It's not necessarily running more buses or trams or trolleys or monorails or whatever. Sometimes you can buy one that's about the same amount to run, but can carry more passengers. So you can run it at slightly less frequent times, still carry the same amount of passengers, and you can end up with less buses, which means less expenses, but carry the same amount of passengers and get the same amount of money. So without earning any more money, you're actually gaining more money, if that makes sense. So your income is still the same, but your profit is higher. I've just spotted the monorail train there going around that sharp corner, and it looked pretty good, so I don't think I need to change that. And I kind of like watching this run through the city streets like this. I think it looks pretty cool. There's plenty of people waiting at each stop, so I think we will end up having to run more frequent services, because there's still 27 people stuck on that platform and this train's running at capacity. So I think I'm onto a winner with this one. I've got some stops in some very strategic places by the looks of it, picking up lots of passengers, and then all these passengers, if they get taken to the central hub, it makes the other services more popular as well, which makes more money. So actually, if I go back onto this, the economy panel, look at that, the trolley's now at 7,000, the tram's back up to 4,000, although we're operating at, look how much money we're losing from ticket prices to actual total for the tram. We'll have to look at that, see if we can get some cheaper trams in, or at least cheaper to run trams. But apart from that, the bus is losing a little bit, and the trolley's losing 4,000 as well, so that's not brilliant, but we've got a better service coming in now. We've got some more passengers rolling around. We've got 39 people on this monorail alone heading towards the hub. And look how busy the second train is that's going off on that line. It's got 52 passengers on board. So we've got these trains running at close to full capacity, which is fantastic. That is exactly what I want. Just think of all the money that's coming in because of this. We've got 34 passengers here. This is something that I don't quite understand about this game. This line here, doesn't matter which train you get on, it goes in the same direction to the same stop, and yet you have a real bias towards one line and not the other. And there's no real, it's not even the newer one has more passengers or the older line has more passengers. It's just a random deployment of passengers waiting at each individual stop, and I've never really understood that. But I guess that's a game mechanic, so I'm sure the makers of the game knew what they were doing. Is it Paradox who made this game? I think it was. So yeah, it's not an issue, it's just a pet peeve. Right, 49 passengers, I believe, were just dropped off by the monorail. So if we see where they all go, being very careful what I do with the camera here, a lot of them could end up actually just climbing straight back up onto this platform. Well, we've got 3 waiting here, we've got 23 waiting here. I think I've established where some of my vehicles go. Look at the queue here. That's not good. Might have to investigate putting traffic lights back into this junction, because we've got a lot of vehicles waiting to leave the depot road. Where did those passengers go? It just disappeared. We've only got 9 waiting here, 9 waiting, 10 waiting there, 6 waiting there, 40, they might be going this way, towards the Indigo line, which actually they could have interchanged with the Indigo line a bit further up, so that doesn't really make sense. I don't know. What does this guy want? This woman want? Build a line from tenement to detached house. I'm going to reject that one actually, because the money doesn't... I mean, it's not worth the money. 1,200. It's going to cost about 50,000 just to build a line that will actually go all that distance, because it can't be a bus, because it's too far away for a bus from here. And I'm not going to investigate building a new depot, because that's just going to be a waste of money. So it'll have to be a metro line or a monorail line, and they cost a lot of money to build. So I'm just going to reject that one. Both these monorail stops are getting popular now, and other stops around it I'm sure will get more popular as a result of that. Why is that trolley not moving? Oh, there's cars in the way. That'll be a problem as well. It won't just be our vehicles that are causing inconveniences around here. It will be normal, what do I call them? Civilians. I mean, we're not military, so it can't be civilians, but normal, everyday road users, let's call them, going out in their cars. They're going to end up blocking the road around here as well. So I think between episodes I'm going to try and stick traffic lights back into these two junctions here. This one here and this one here, because you see traffic density is pretty heavy. So I'll be looking to do that. So I'm actually going to end this episode here, guys, because it's 21 minutes gone. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. If you have subscribed to my channel, thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time, I will see you soon.